So, this is day 4 of my fruit fast. Yesterday was day 3, and I did a meditation for about 45 minutes, going into the depth of my body. And I tuned in to the self-healing nature of the body. When you have a wound or a scab, something within your body, some mechanism, guided by God and Goddess, will literally send all of your cells automatically to go and heal that part of your being. If you break a bone, all of the cells in your body are going to go to that, well, not all of the cells, but a bunch of cells in your body are going to go into your bone, and they're going to heal and restore the material structure of that bone. When we were young and we watched Dragon Ball Z, and Cell or Frieza or Boo or Piccolo would lose an arm and then just go like and grow it right back. We pretty much have that ability within us. Now, if you cut off my arm, I don't think my arm is going to grow back. But if you cut a piece of my arm, it's going to heal itself. And that in itself is magic. It is divinity, and it is freedom. Now, this magic and this self-healing and self-regenerative nature of the body and of anything that contains the soulful breath of God within it, it is not limited to small wounds, to physical ailments, to physical trauma. It can also be applied, both willfully or unconsciously, to spiritual trauma, spiritual pains, limiting beliefs, disconnections from God, misalignments. And fallenness. I carry these imbalances from a broken collarbone years ago that have woven themselves, it seems, into my heart and the left side of my body. For the moment. And in the meditation last night, facilitated and amplified by the purification effect of fasting on fruit only, meaning living waters and living food, living nourishment. I could feel somatically within my body, here on the left side, myself tuning in to that self-regenerative aspect of myself and just kind of letting go and letting it realign all of that which is out of balance. Like tuning into the intercellular network of my being. It might be intracellular. Inter and intracellular network of my being, for it is both within the cells and within the co-constituency and cooperative nature of the cells I could feel the streams of my body entering that phase of homeostatic healing within my body, from within. And from there, now this isn't like this overwhelming mystical visionary experience where all is healed instantaneously and released and melted away. Though that reality itself was what I was attuning myself to and aligning myself with, as though that's the highest timeline, and here I am in this like kind of misaligned timeline, and my body and the cells in my body were like doing what they could to find their way and connect with, find their way to and connect with that timeline. And in that process, I not only felt the pains and the traumas sort of beginning to dissolve. I have pineapple juice on. I could also feel some of the limiting beliefs which have attached themselves to those parts of me which are still in pain and clinging to the pains and clinging to the past moments wherein that pain was instilled in my body, and wherein the egregores of my mind's stories which have coded themselves into the pain to try to explain and cope with the depth and the weight of that pain. I could feel the limiting beliefs, the self-imposed prisons and limitations also dissolving. And one of those beliefs and limitations is that I don't know how to offer my gifts to the world. I don't know what my gifts are. I don't know my purpose. I don't know how I can build a career that is in integrity, so that my ways of acquiring currency to sustain myself by way of being in service can be in integrity and not rely on the systems of deceit that we often convince ourselves we need to be enmeshed with in order to sustain ourselves. What I could feel within my being was the remembrance and the somatic sensation of the blueprint of my being, which is someone who is extremely psychologically perceptive, who has the gift, much like Carl Jung or Sigmund Freud or any of the great psychologists, not to necessarily say I stand on their caliber, but the perceptive lens that I have been given with my triple scorpionic Sun, Moon, Mercury conjunction in my 9th house, aligned with my midheaven Sagittarius, which is pretty much right there in conjunction as well, which is career, Sagittarius. I could feel how this psychological gift wanted to like offer itself naturally. Not even as a question of needing to make it some career. Needing to make it some professional thing. Because that is kind of like cringy to me. The point is there's like this gift, this ability to see, this pair of eyes that I have within my heart, which is just like I am, this is who I am. And anyone who needs this vision, who needs this perception, who needs this reflection, this mirror, can be sent to me to receive this. And I had buried that gift within myself. In ideas that I was not ready or worthy to offer such perception. That such perception might be flawed, might be um, rooted in falsity, self-deception, might be wrong. And there are likely still imperfections and doldrums and egregores and layers of dust to brush away and melt away for this apotheos of my being to truly come into being and bear fruit and abound and bloom as the flower which it is. But nevertheless, I essentially felt the flower of my soul. And I am in a process in my life of trying to figure out the ideal ways to offer my gifts, to offer my medicine, the medicine of my perception, the medicine of my heart, the medicine of my presence, in a way that can be met with reciprocity and environments and systems of support which will then cultivate and amplify, which will support me in cultivating, amplifying, and then pouring that gift into the world. And like I said, I've convinced myself that I don't know what that is, that I don't know how to offer that I'm not worthy of offering it. But just by the simple act of eating fruit, lying down, and breathing deeply, I begin to feel myself shedding those layers of doubt, of delusion, of limitation, of self-imprisonment. And very seamlessly and naturally, like a flower coming into bloom, feeling my guidance and my gifts and my certainty and my confidence and the felt experience of the highest timeline of my highest self being like, all right, we are here, just let us take control, let us just do this. We being my higher self, supported by angels and God. Beneficent forces aligned with truth, divinity, and freedom. And the true healing of the earth, which does not feel limited or constrained or confined by any of the illusory apparitions of limitation, concrete, evil, self-deceit, and all forms of deception. These things are just like fleeting temporary bits of parasitic dust, which in face of the true light of the soul, which shines from deep within the heart, from deep within the mind, from deep within the soul, from deep within each cell within your body, in coherence and connection with God and Goddess, harmoniously and hierogamically united as one, as within, so without. All of that parasitic dust, all of the misalignment, all of the death, all of the decay, all of the desperation, all of the pain can be melted away and returned to the divinity for which it yearns. And there's a divine simplicity within that. In the fact that this has come within my being, well, I'd be lying actually if I said that it came only from fruit and breath. For there is also a powerful oracle, fiery warrior woman, who happened to play a part in this. And it very well might be that she is first what calls forth the soul which I am to be embodied here and now. Powerful oracular women are sent by God to bring the kings out of men. This is not something to be extracted from. This is not something to be taken advantage of. This is not something that is just a given. It must be earned. And if it presents itself in your life, you better not only cherish it, but nourish it. Nourish her. Pour into her. Support her. Provide for her. Love her. And call forth the queen that is within her heart, which also might be facing similar wounds, traumas, self-doubts. And let the king within you bring out the queen within her. And mirror back to one another the divine heroes gamos of God and Goddess found within. For it all begins within. Thank you to God, and thank you to Goddess, and thank you to their angels, all of them, but here and now especially thank you to two of their very specific, very bright, very luminous, very loving, very beautiful angels. And thank you to the fruit. And thank you to Venus for entering retrograde and weaving this celestial earthly embodiment into synchronistic alignment to guide souls home. That's it for now. Wishing you purification, abundance, prosperity, heart healing, and the unfurling of your soul and your angelic wings.